Ew, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. This looks like a mouth. Or
it does.
Something
it looks like lips.
Something else on the back. Okay, that's the first thing I thought of.
That's valid. That's valid. Yeah, it's
like just put it in your purse.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah,
too.
okay.
They started selling them at Target, and I was like, really? I had to explain it to Nick too. It was a whole thing. All right. Hi, besties. I'm Faith OK.
And I'm Asia the Girl. Welcome back.
Yay! Welcome to OK Girl.
Glad you're here. It's been a whole week.
The whole week.
Yeah.
You might be wondering, Faith, you were wearing those clothes last episode. You weirdo. Surprise, we record things in the same day. And I forgot my sweater in the car. And it's a whole thing.
But you look great.
Thanks.
And your nails look great.
Thank you. Yeah, they were a birthday present to me.
I love that.
From me.
Yes. Those are the best
I'm going
kind.
to try to actually grow out my natural nails for real this time.
Like Eva?
Yes. I'm going to her girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she's great.
That's amazing. Yeah, this is like a Delulu, what is the word? Like only we can only aspire to is Eva, who we've mentioned on the podcast. She also has stunning nails.
Yeah.
And they're like really long. Natural nails. And I would not have known that. Like I thought that she was getting like sets done for a while, and I was like, wait. That's your real nails.
The first time she said it, I thought she was lying to me, and I was like, "Lift your hand up." And I checked underneath for the added tip, and she was like, "It's my nail." And I was like, "Okay, you're not lying. You're for real."
And she's like kept it up.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
She just gets acrylic overlay,
to like
so
strengthen
no
it.
tip is glued on or anything. So
nice.
One day I might.
That could be you.
Delulu me might get there, but for now I got my little plastic tip things on.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Have you been?
How have I been? Good. All the holidays are kind of past.
Yeah.
We're currently snowed in. We talked about it last episode. But hopefully by the time this is coming out, the snow will be gone, and I'll be back to a normal schedule. Prayers for future me.
Yes.
I have recently been doing a lot of planning for your baby shower.
Yay!
So
I'm so
me
excited.
and our friend Eva are planning Asia's baby shower. The only thing that Asia really has said is like, I want it Ghibli themed. And so we're trying to give that. And we're of course going colorful because Asia is colorful. And so
if you were surprised by that,
if you
welcome.
weren't sure by any of this in her home. So it's been fun. And also like, I've never planned a baby shower. I've gone to a lot, but I've never planned one. So I'm like, every day I'm like, wait, this thing, wait, that thing.
I'm so excited.
But we finally got invites out only a little too late, like a month before.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's okay. People will be there.
Yeah.
But I haven't been into a post office in so long. So we were mailing so many of them, like almost 50 of them had to be mailed. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm going to buy some stamps and just drop them off and be done. So Eva and I spent most of the morning kind of like in the coffee shop, just like writing them all out, which was fun. And then I go to the post office and Nick came with me because we were on our way to lunch. First I go in and I'm like, we walk in and they closed in like 20 minutes, but I was like, I literally am just buying stamps and everything else can be done in the closed off, like open part. And so I walk in and there's a guy being helped at the counter, but nobody is there, like no post office worker. So he's like at the counter doing something. And then there's a lady at a register 2 down, but she's counting her till. So I was like, well, I don't want to be all up in her business because I don't want to think I'm up to something. So Nick and I come in and we kind of stand in between both, but we're still kind of like, the guy is still like a good, like 5+ feet away.
Okay.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
The worker comes out from the back and he's like, hey, give the man some space.
Oh my gosh.
And like tells us to move.
What?
And I was like,
that's crazy.
he was like, you got to give the guy some space. And I was like, okay. So then I move closer to the lady counting money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so unsafe for her.
For real.
So Nick and I like take 2 steps away, and then that he finishes the transaction with that guy. That guy has not left the counter yet.
Okay.
And the guy's like, okay, how can I help you, sir? Only talking to Nick, first of all. Rude. Annoyed. Don't do that.
Could never be an okay girl.
And then this man's still at the counter, so why doesn't he have to give us space?
Yeah.
Why do we have to give us space?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to give us space. Then I walk up and I'm like, I just need to buy stamps. I'm mailing out like about 50 things, just like little letters. And he was like, okay. And he doesn't ask me what I want the stamps to look like. Nothing. He just grabs random stamps out of his drawer. And like, he was like, do you want a roll or a book? And I was like, well, really, I mean, I'm sending 50, so I just need like 3 books maybe. And so he counts out, he gets 2 full books and then pulls out this random strip, and they're like Purple Heart Award stamps. And I was like, that's not gonna fly. I cannot do that. And so then I was like, sorry, do you have anything else, like options, or is that like the only thing I can get? And he was like, oh yeah, I have other things, but I can't like split a book, so like you have to do these 10 Purple Heart ones. And I was like, I'll just buy 60.
Yeah.
Like,
right, it's fine.
please.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's it for? And I was like, it's a baby shower invite. And he was like, maybe flowers. I think this man dug out the most expensive flower stamps out of his drawer.
Gosh.
And
was he scamming you?
I don't know. Unless stamps are just outrageous. I thought stamps were like a couple bucks for a book, like a 20 count. Maybe
maybe like $5.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
No. This man gave me the Floral Forever stamps, and I paid $40-something for these stamps.
Please, I'm sorry.
No.
40 for 60 stamps? Yes. That's crazy.
10 of them are still in my tote bag because when am I ever going to use them?
That's wild.
But we left. I was like, I didn't even want to fight it because like he told me, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this man anymore. I don't want to be like, you got anything cheaper? Like, so then I get
that seems so expensive.
I like got out to the lobby thing that's like open for PO boxes, and we're like putting stamps on things. And I was like, when did stamps get that expensive? And Nick was like, I thought that was just how stamps worked. Nick just like put the card up there and went for it. He was like, I just thought, because he was like, don't you remember a few years ago people being really mad at how outrageous prices were on like postage? And I was like, yeah, but I didn't think a stamp
for stamps. Yeah, that's great. Maybe they don't know anything. You know who? It's all the old ladies that know. They always know stamps.
They would know. But yeah, it was a whole journey. It was
like I know that forever stamps are a little more expensive because the whole thing is like they hold their value. You don't have to like you know change it. But like that math does not seem right to me.
No, it doesn't. But he told me, and I was like, I'm so over this interaction with you, with peace and love. Like love you, buddy. Appreciate you working here on a Saturday in the snow.
Right.
But like,
stop.
He did. I expected him to be like, here's a sheet of like all the options.
Yeah. Which one do you want?
He just dug in his drawer and like threw something on the counter, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it.
Wild.
They were cute. They were really cute stamps.
Good. I'm glad.
I'll show them to you later.
Cool. That's crazy.
That was my post office journey.
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
How are you? How was your?
I'm good. Well, so recently I started a new position.
Yeah.
At work. I'm still the same company, but I moved into a tech role, in a product role, and so this is my first like experience. I feel the least amount of like imposter syndrome when I say I work in tech, because like I've been working in tech for the last 4 years, but I've been doing like all the customer facing stuff, which still is like in the tech industry, but now I'm like actually in the tech team. And I was telling Faith that I was like nervous about like, should I be code switching more? Because these people are so smart. Like all these engineers and like product developers, they're like really on top of their game, and I'm just like, what are these acronyms they're saying? Like I was like reminded what ARR meant and OKRs and all these you know things, and I'm like, what are we talking about? And so I was nervous because like, you know, I always joke around, but I feel like I'm pretty correct in this, that I'm like the personality hire for my company, and like I get stuff done. I don't want to like, I feel like I do a good job. I you know, I whatever, but I definitely like bring a lot of my personality, and I don't always do it in like every case, but like at this workplace it feels like more safe to like be more myself and not like have like a facade for work. But I was like maybe need to reevaluate because I'm on a new team now with all these really smart people. But then I was like, looking at, the way people communicate, and we work for a remote or I work for a remote company. And so a lot of the communication is done like online and through like chat messages and stuff on, all these like project trackers. And I was like going to add an update there in my like new role, and I saw I won't dox her, but she's such a queen, like an amazing person in the tech team. And I'm looking at how she is responding to people giving like these very technical updates. She would start her messages with like, "Hey queen," tag whoever, or like queens and kings, and like yes, and slay, and like she's like saying all of these things, but she's like really smart and like an actual engineer. And I was like, okay, you know what?
I'm safe
here. I sent a screenshot to Faith because I was like, okay, I think I'll be fine. Because I was a little bit worried. I was like, maybe I need to, I'm the person that like, after I get to know, I won't do this like off the bat with every single like not customer, employee. But like when I like work with you on like a recurring basis, when you're asking me things like, can you do this? Or can I get an okay on this? I'll say things like, no prob Bob, like no one's name is Bob, but like it's just, I'm just having fun with it. And so I just wasn't sure if like that energy would be accepted in this space, but I feel really good that I can continue being myself.
Tech bros are out.
I know,
the tech girlies are in.
Yes, exactly.
They're in. Now we just have to take over finance.
Oh my gosh, yes.
As girlies.
Yeah. You can do it.
Yeah, me with my education.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, let me just get in here.
let me tell you how to run this.
Well, Nick will just need to like bring all of your energy to his workspaces.
I'm sure they love that
so much. Yeah,
him in his like suit and tie.
Yeah,
and then being like slay.
Can't show tattoos or anything.
No piercings.
No piercings. That'd be fine.
Yeah, he does. I will say he's come home before and been like, I taught my coworkers a new slang.
Amazing.
Like it'll be like what is some of the gnarly is one that he uses a lot. He's like, bro, that's gnarly. And some of his coworkers also, English is not their first language.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like that, but also the generational difference added to it. And so then they're like,
what do you mean?
What is gnarly? And they like at this point now they question him because they're afraid he's telling them made up things that aren't real and trying to get them to say it.
Gaslighting them. Yeah,
exactly. He's like, I probably could now because I've like done this for so long, but yeah, so
that's so funny.
Yeah. Any other updates from you before we get canceled?
No, I mean, I think I'm ready for,
all right,
for this.
Perfect. Welcome to Okay Girl, Hot or Not. We talked previously, Asia and I talked before about how we miss the messy 2000s.
Yes.
Like, think what not to wear, think Project Runway, think all the messy things of the drama.
We're about to get messy.
And we are here with Hot or Not. And so we're doing our hot takes today.
I feel like yours are going to be so insane. I tried so hard to be as real, but I'm like, faith-coded hot takes are going to be so insane compared to mine.
I will say, so, hold on. Let me first say, we're doing hot takes today.
Yes.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
Please.
Genuinely.
Please. Yeah.
These are our opinions. And yes, I am a very opinionated and strongly opinionated girly. But that does not mean most of the things in my hot takes are not things that I'm judging people for. It's just like my personal opinion.
Right.
You know the meme? It's like, that's my opinion. Yeah. That's me right now
that's
yelling
you.
at you.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours.
Right.
But we're not here to get canceled. We're not here to make anybody mad. We're not here to target anybody. None of this is personal against anyone. It's like general vibes that we don't like. Think of it like icks. But more.
Yeah, totally.
I will say, in prepping for this, I knew that I had a lot of hot takes, but I was like, oh my gosh, hot takes. What are we going to do? What am I going to say? And I was like, Nick, what are some of my hot takes? And he immediately was like, well, there's this one and there's this one. And I was like, oh my gosh, those are good. And I wrote them down. And then I was like, oh, I can't think of anything else. And then as soon as I got the thoughts flowing, I was like, oh my gosh. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop writing them down.
So typically, like, I feel like I always prepare like normally prepare like the night before, especially if we're recording like one episode. And Faith typically like before, like, and this is just like how our flow is different. Like she'll like write stuff down like right before the episode. But I was shocked when she, you know, she was like getting her outline ready. And she's like, I already have 12 hot takes. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, let me get to it.
I've been writing them in my phone for the past day, and like randomly throughout the day in the past 24 hours, I've just been writing them down. This morning I was brushing my teeth and I was like, and I picked up my phone and I wrote something down. Nothing to do with brushing my teeth.
That's so
It was just something that came to my mind. So I also will say I wrote some down and I read them off to Nick, and he said, I don't think you should say that. And I said, but why not? And then he said, I'm going to let Asia be the judge of whether or not. So there might be some weird jump cuts.
We'll find out.
And that's just editing Asia, editing me.
Yeah, if you see any.
Asia's doing her magic to keep me from getting canceled. But when I told Asia that, Nick was with me, and then Asia said, I'm just saying yes to all of it. Nick was like, no, don't do that. So welcome to our last podcast episode.
I'm so excited.
I'm kidding. So the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna just go back and forth with our hot takes.
Yeah.
There's no like set category. We're just gonna. You're gonna get our mind. You know, like the pensives in Harry Potter. We're putting your face into the bowl, and you're seeing our brains.
Right.
And then we're also gonna play a little game afterwards to lighten the mood.
Yeah, totally.
So, let me get my list ready. Do you want to start?
Yeah,
or do you want
sure.
Me to start?
I'll
Okay.
start.
All right.
I'll start with like a softball one. Sort of, but like whatever. You guys take it however you want. Okay. We love reading. Reading is great.
Yeah.
Reading is fun. However, I don't know if I am necessarily more productive when I'm like spending 3 hours, you know, reading through an entire book as I am like watching a movie for 3 hours. Like if I'm like being very studious and academic and like, you know, really breaking down everything in a story or in just whatever book, then whatever, that's its own category. But when I'm just like sitting reading, like for example, I always read on Saturdays, or if we don't have anything going on, when I'm done with like reading a full novel start to finish and it's like lunchtime, I don't necessarily feel like, wow, I have like accomplished so much today. I feel like it's great and it entertained me and it was like profound. Like some more than others are more profound, but I feel like if I were to like watch a good film in that same amount of time, like besides like my eyes being like maybe like a little bit depreciated after that, I feel the same. Like I don't and I feel like when people are like I just read and I don't watch I feel so bad because it's like right after we talked about like our goals. But like I'm reading over watching TV, I'm like, oh, go you. Like, I don't know what you want.
I think that's fair. And that's been like a big debate too, is like people recently, there's been this big thing of like audiobooks aren't books. And it's been like these people that are like, I read and I'm better than you.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, hey, sure. Yeah. Like we both just spent 3 hours with a fictional story.
Right, exactly. Like if you're spending your hours like being, I'm not even saying that like educational like nonfiction is more valuable than fiction, because I don't agree with that. I've like actually had like, I can't remember if I talked about it here, but like I had an argument with someone about that, but that could be its own hot take, I guess. But but I don't think that like people that necessarily spend all their time reading over watching things are better. I
hear you. Yeah, I think we're all the same.
Good. Okay.
I hear you. Yeah. All right. I'll stick with books.
Okay.
This one is also a softball. Paperback books are better than hardback books. That's it, period. The fact that I can bend it back and like hear the crack of the spine, I love that. It's just like so much easier to carry around. It's so much easier to like hold with one hand. It's just like a paperback book is better. I'm sorry.
I understand that opinion. Like I do get like I think those are like true pros to it, but also like I hate when like I prefer, for multiple reasons, I prefer hardcover books. One, because they tend to be cheaper if you wait like long enough. They always like go on sale faster.
Do they though?
Yeah, at least for ones that I've seen.
When I'm going to buy a book, paperback is almost always cheaper.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe because I normally buy them online, and
Maybe
I
that's
feel
why.
like they're like everyone like the demand for softcover books, because I think more people are like you, is like higher. So I always get good deals on hardcover books.
Okay.
So that's like one reason why I like it. But then two, like because I love buying books that are beautiful, I really hate when like my softcover books are like bent, or like, you know, like when they don't lay flat anymore and they're just kind of like I hate it. I'm like, no, I need to weigh it back down.
I love a worn in, like there might be some water damage on the pages. I eat that up. I will say I got that box set I talked about last episode, and that one I was reading last night, and Nick was eating Doritos, and I was like, can you put no, don't touch it with those hands.
Please, yeah.
I need you to like use the hand you haven't touched the Doritos with and gently put it over there, because it's like a new pristine box set. But I love like a used paperback damaged book.
I feel like it's very cottagecore, you know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
it's cute.
It's just me, a little damaged paperback book over here.
Give me all the damage.
But yeah, that's my softball book.
Yeah,
take.
that one's. I'm like bracing myself for what's gonna come out of your mouth in the next.
I don't think
15
any of mine are
minutes.
actually that bad.
Okay. Okay. Another one I have is this gives me the ick for real. And I don't know if this is due because I spent like a couple years working at a like a juice bar, and it's very like all the vibes that you would associate with the juice bar, like all these like yogi moms and whatever. I think because I was like in that like service industry, seeing that perspective of people like consumers that are like, you know, all about being, you know, holistically healthy and all of that. All of these things are like not necessarily bad in and of itself.
Yeah.
But dude, I feel like I think it's a form of like appropriation, where it's like they like to cherry pick a lot of like Eastern you know, this is the like, I think there's like a really popular book like called the China Diet, I think, or like, yeah, literally called that. And so like, and they're like, this is what, like, if we ate more this way and like ate like those ancestors, then our lives would be so much better. And I'm like, listen, you are cherry picking because like your lifestyle, just because you do yoga and Soul Cycle, you spend thousands of dollars on that, and your like Whole Foods like recurring grocery order, does not mean that like that negates like your individualistic lifestyle that like is so like accomplishment based and not like communal. Like you can't just like have this one thing.
Ma'am,
It drives me crazy.
I know you drove here in a giant SUV that you don't need 3 rows for, and you did that while wearing like $100 Lululemon leggings that were made in another country. But no,
it's just it made me so mad. Like whenever people talk about it, I'm like, okay, like just say you like doing yoga. I don't know, like you can like those things, but like it doesn't make you more enlightened than other people. You can't just be like
their third eye is open. We don't get it. We don't get it.
Oh, it drives me crazy. Ugh, I hate it.
Let's see.
What you got?
Kind of in a similar, like in terms of I guess like in like products and like intake. I think that in most cases you do not need multiples of the same type of item.
Yes,
we are just over consuming because you think they're cute.
Yeah,
I was that girly. I had like a whole cabinet of coffee mugs. I don't even drink coffee at home. I go and get my Panera Sip Club.
That's
and
right.
I had like 20 coffee mugs. I was like,
That's
I don't
so
need
funny.
any of these. Like I need one. I remember I kept one mug at work in my office, and I was like, this is literally all I need.
Yeah,
I need one mug.
I'm that way with like clothing, where like I won't say there's no space for this. I get that there is. When people buy like, I like this thing, I'll get it in multiple colors.
Yeah.
I get it. But also like my like fit like creative brain, I'm like, I don't want to have the same like thing just in a different color, because it just feels like I'm not, I don't know, being creative about putting a fit together.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I will say there are certain things like yeah, like a pair of leggings that I really like.
Mhm.
If I have like this black pair and I'm like,
That
I
makes, like,
would,
leggings
I
and
could get
tank
rid
tops,
of like,
yeah.
I could get rid of a few of these pants
Mhm.
and then buy this one pair of these leggings that are exactly the same in a different color and wear them more. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's
yeah,
fair.
I get
Yeah,
that part,
yeah.
but yeah, the like, let me get all of like, if you're gonna buy something you really like and you're like, I'm gonna buy it in all the colors.
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to not buy everything else in all the colors.
Right.
Also,
Relax.
you don't need the full rainbow in all
Right.
your t-shirts.
Exactly.
You don't. You don't. Yeah, so I don't, it's just like the overconsumption,
Yeah.
especially like I see it so much with like TikTok shop, people being like, you need this bralette, and I'm like, but you don't. When are you gonna wear it?
Right.
You need like 2 of them, maybe.
Yeah, totally.
Total. Like, you
That's all.
don't need 10 bralettes for $15.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, I get that. On shopping, this, I'm curious your thoughts on this because I think everyone's different about this. But so this is just how I grew up, okay? And this is what I prefer. When I'm like shopping with friends or with family, like not just by myself, what I like to do is like we enter the store together and then we go explore individually and then be like, we'll like check on each other every once in a while, be like, what'd you find?
Yeah.
I don't love when like people are just following me wherever I go and then I'm expected to follow people to wherever they go because I just feel like I feel like I can't take as long as I want to if I'm like really hyper fixating on whatever this is.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to feel like I'm dragging them along.
Yes.
But also like I don't have a cat. Like I don't want to go to the cat section with you if like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And like so my mom and I like always were that way but like I don't know like other people that I've shopped with are not that way. And so it was really funny. Luke is used to like sticking around together the whole time. And when my parents were in town, my mom, we were on to go to TJ Maxx or something together. And so literally it was so great because it was me and my mom and Luke. I don't think anyone else came with us. We like enter the store and she has the cart with her. She's like, okay, have fun. And she goes away and Luke was like, oh. And I was like, no, it's so fun because then you like divide and conquer and then you like find things for each other and it's so fun. But I think like I feel like that's like ironically goes against my like communal like vibes that I tend to give, but I don't know. I just feel like low key, not annoyed. I don't know. Maybe that's too strong, but whatever. Like people are just following me the whole time. Like, okay,
I'm gonna rethink all of our shopping interactions.
No,
I'm kidding. Okay, I will say I agree with you in certain situations. I am the same way of like. I would love for us, especially when it's like your friends are not the same size as you.
Right,
We
exactly.
don't have the same
That's
styles,
the biggest thing.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to dig through the like petite or the like whatever sizes that aren't me and then later go do mine.
Right.
So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But then I also like when I feel like it's different in like some stores are structured for it, I feel like,
right,
where you can be near each other enough
that's true
that you're looking around and then you can like be like, look at this. Like my sister and I, when we go to Goodwill, she'll be on one side of the aisle and I'll be on the other because we're like different sizes and into different things. And then like you said, we divide and conquer in a sense where it's like I found my sister is always roasting me in thrift stores. She's like, no one will buy this. You probably want it. She's like, this is ugly. Do you want it?
That's
and I'm
so
like,
funny.
I do. Thank you. Like,
I love that.
So I enjoy that part of shopping where it's like, let's go look at all the crazy things. But if I'm going into like a department store where there's not going to be as fun of things as like a thrift store, I do understand like, let me just go look at what I need. And if I see something that reminds me of you, I'll grab it, throw it in the cart, and then we'll meet in the middle and we'll show and tell.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. That's like the biggest thing is like, even if you are all, shopping for tops, is like, I don't want to just drag you around the whatever, like extra large, or if I'm wanting like a baggy fit, like my friends who are small is like, obviously like, you don't need to be spending your time just
you
like,
don't need to look at these.
Unless like we're looking for outfits for each other. Like if that's like the actual goal, then it makes sense to like be together. But yeah, if we're just like hanging out shopping together.
Yeah.
with no end goal.
Yeah, you're right too, because there's like this pressure of like, okay, let me just be fast, and it's like, well, wait, I'm shopping.
Right.
Let me shop.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
I get you.
Okay.
I get you.
Okay.
I am gonna rethink everything when we shop together. Still on shopping. You guys are not gonna like this one. Stop buying things from Shein and Temu
yes,
and all of these random places. I think I've already done this spiel on this podcast, but like,
no, it needs to be said.
I understand it's so cheap.
Yeah,
a $2 t-shirt or a $2 dress or whatever, it's like, what a steal. It sure is, and it shouldn't be. Nothing costs that little. Nothing. There's a reason. And like, I understand, like, I see a lot of people that they'll like, you know, there's someone that'll post something online and be like, stop shopping on Shein, and then somebody's like, it's the only place I can find affordable plus size clothing. And it's like, I hear you. It's hard to shop for like someone that isn't a typical, like, you know, 0 or 2 or 4 or whatever, like, dress size. But like, if you just like found a really good brand that does cool stuff that you like, you could buy like an item from them and it would last you years.
Yeah, right.
Your Shein pants are gonna break at the seam of your thighs in like a month.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is.
And like,
don't be fooled.
Temu is like a big thing. Don't send me a Temu link. I'm not playing the games.
Right.
I'm not. I don't want it. There are children making those items. Stop it.
No, exactly. I'm with you with that.
I bought Shein in college a lot. Like, I would say like every maybe like 4 months I was buying a few items to be like, oh, it's for this season. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. If I just bought things at like Goodwill, which are cheap, I can get jeans there for $5 and they've already been worn in.
Yeah.
And they're built well.
Exactly. It'll be fine.
Go to your thrift stores.
Exactly. Go to thrift stores. They're fun.
Also, if you stop buying things from Shein, I'll stop finding them in thrift stores too. I'm sick of that.
They're all over the place.
I hate that. I'm sorry. Shein and Temu and all of those random little online fast fashion, they're not cute. Stop it.
Don't do it. Okay, I think it's my last fashion or shopping one. I've talked about this definitely in the past, but here's the thing. My way of evaluating whether or not I want to buy something is definitely like, it has to check out the box, like, is this like fitting the vibe, the aesthetic? Okay. It needs to like be beautiful in the eyes of the beholder. And like, for function, or like how, okay, minus Shein and stuff like that, don't like, that's gonna confuse because I agree with Faith, but like, if the item, I guess with clothes maybe, but like more so with like home decor and whatever, or just like different items, like, I just need it to perform its job. It doesn't have to excel at being like the highest rated thing. Like, I'm sure there are better options out there that don't come in purple, but if the thing that I want, like, I can rely on it to do the function that it needs to do, then I'll get it. Like, I won't, like, that always baffles Luke, where he's like, there are better things like options than that. I'm like, it does its job. Like, I know it's not gonna break, so we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as long as you're not buying it, like, I feel like sometimes people are like, I bought this because it's cute. And then it's the thing of like, but it doesn't function well. Right. Don't do that. Yeah. Like, then it's like, okay, you're being silly. You could have just like painted that or something. Right. I don't know, like decaled it. I don't know. But yeah, like, if it gets the job done and it performs well enough to last long, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the thing that you like. Yeah.
Thanks.
Validating
Thank
you
you.
here. Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to go back to books for just a second. And this is another one that I told Nick, and he was like, the people are not ready to hear that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay. I have read romantasy and romance books. I understand there's in those, there are smut scenes. There's a whole genre of like smut, spicy books, if you want to call it that. I just need you guys to know, and I'm not saying morally where this stands for you. That's a personal thing. For me, I don't do smut. It's not, because here's my hot take. Reading smut is essentially the same as intaking porn.
There you go.
I said it. I'm
You said
sorry.
it.
And here's the thing. Here's my next part of it. For me, I would not watch porn. I'm not going to read smut.
There you go.
If you have no problem with it, that's a you thing. But I'm just saying they are equal in my eyes, okay? Like, it's the same concept. And so when I get to those scenes in my books, I just flip to the next page or the next chapter or whatever. And it's like, we've got to stop acting like oh my gosh, there's a whole tangent that I could go on. But if you were with your mans and you found out he was watching these things, you'd be upset. How do you think he'd feel if he found out you were reading those things? I'm sorry. If Nick picked up a book and saw that those were in there and he knew I was reading that, I would be so embarrassed. I don't know. I love romance. I understand there are girls out there that are like, it has to have smut. That's not for me. Right. But like, I just need you to know those are the same thing. Yeah. When you comment on a book and say, is there smut? I know what you're asking. And you can feel shame or not, but just know.
You're equating it in your brain.
Yeah. I'm not saying
I know it's safe to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying it whether it's right or wrong. That's for you to decide. For me, it's wrong.
Yeah, there you go.
But like, imagine commenting on a movie. Like, someone posts about a movie and they're like, I love this movie, it's so good, and somebody comments and says, are there sex scenes? What is wrong with you? Google it. Don't drag me in.
I don't need to be here. Oh my gosh, I love that.
We just need a little more shame in the world, just a little bit.
We've talked about that actually in different contexts. Yeah. We need more shame. Shame shapes people, just a little bit, just a sprinkle. Okay, there's like so many ways I can go from here. Okay, I'm gonna like be a little bit like, don't take this wrong way, okay? Don't like psychoanalyze yourself and if you've had interactions in person, okay? I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm a verbal processor, right? And we have a lot of verbal processing friends. I'm sure you all have verbal processing friends, or you yourself might be verbal processors. Besties, do not use people as your like sounding board / like just the receiving end of your verbal processing without consent. I'm not saying that there's no space for it.
Yeah. If
you're like asking your friend or your loved one or whatever, like, hey, I just like need to talk through this. Like, can you like, I need this from you. Like, then great. That's an agreement. But nothing sucks more than when you're just trying to have a conversation with your friend and you just feel like, what am I even here for? No, like, I'm just like here for you to talk at me right now. And that just is not fun. Like, and I'm saying that as like someone who also verbally processes. It's like, it's not fair to the person that's receiving.
Like, if I can just like leave and you keep talking and nothing changes, we shouldn't be talking.
Exactly.
Sorry. And I will say, like, I am not always a verbal processor, but some things I am. Or like, sometimes I just need to like run through the day out loud. And I will say to Nick, like, you can totally not listen to anything I'm saying. Like, you don't have to like feel like you have to engage with me. Sometimes I will say, like, can you just listen to this and tell me if it makes sense or like whatever. But yeah, like sometimes I'm like, I just need to say like, okay, we go here, then we go here, then we do this, and then we do this. And I just need, like, Nick can scroll on his phone. And I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna talk through the day. All you have to say is like, I need to rant real quick, or like, I need to just say things out loud until I get to the point that I actually mean. Like, can you just like hear me out? Yeah. And then also, if they say no, they're valid. You have to
accept that. Like, it's just like, I thought about this a lot before saying it, but I'm like, I just feel like that's, if you're not giving your loved ones, your friends, like an opportunity to like say no, then that's like that's not a like equal playing field friendship. Like, you're just like demanding something of them that they haven't consented.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said what I said. Okay.
I love it.
Thank you.
I'm here for it. I'm going to stick to my media type of things because I have a lot of opinions about different media. This one is so niche and so dumb, so I'm just going to throw it in for a little lighthearted middle section.
Okay, yeah. Some lighthearted ones
this is one that Nick threw out because it's something that we have fought about, jokingly, of course. This is for my Star Wars girlies. Obi-Wan, that's a little baby boy. I cannot stand him. I think he is a weak little baby boy. I have other words that I would use to describe
I could see that.
I think that he, like, everything I've watched with him in it, he's whining. He has no gut. He, like, won't do the hard things.
He's like the passive.
He's so passive, and I just know that if I ever interacted with him in person, I would just step on him and move along. And, like, I can't stand him. And I know most of you guys listening don't even care. You're like, what?
No, it's okay. That's
Nobody
for me
cares
then.
about Obi-Wan.
It's just for me.
But, man, and everybody loves him. He's like a core character, and I'm like, I could do without.
That's fair.
I think he causes a lot of problems.
He does. I agree with you. I think he's like, oh, we could like have a whole thing on this. And I feel like this is not the right like podcast setting for this, but like everything that is bad about the Republic, or not about the Republic, but like the Jedi Council at that time, he was like the what is the word? Like conditioned. He was like conditioned to believe all of those things.
Yes.
And so he's just like the walking like next generation of like continuing that. So
yeah.
I agree with that.
No critical
I agree
thinking.
with that. Yeah.
Passive weak baby boy. I hate him. Anyways.
I love that.
That was a little lighthearted moment for you.
Yeah,
guys.
we can have a couple of those. One that this is a media one, but it's just about like social media. We joke around about like you being an iPad kid or people being iPad kids, but this is like my own like personal thing where like the one time I feel like a little bit curmudgeonly whenever I see the TikToks that are like subway surfers and some like the actual content, or you know like ASMR stuff and the actual content, I just like on principle will skip through it. Even and it'll make me so mad when like the actual content is like really fascinating, but like on principle, especially when people are just doing it for the views, like I get it if it's like you're actually just trying to like help people focus on like what it is they're saying, but I know that people are just doing it so they get more views, and I just think that's so lazy. It's so dumb. Like if your content is good, it'll stand on its own. If it didn't, like try again. I don't know to tell you.
I will say I agree on that point where I have, because I am the ideal audience for those.
Yeah, that's for you, not for me.
I love a video that has something I can watch while listening to whatever the actual one is. Like, you know, it's split screen. Yeah. I'm watching them rock it out on Subway Surfers. Or I'm watching them play some dumb mobile game that's like just cutting through lines. I don't know, soap cutting, whatever. I do love those. I'm the ideal audience. But I will say every time I see them, I do typically try to find like the original creator to go like their stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
That's
okay,
good.
like I understand like some of them are people that are like, I thought about doing it for our own podcast clips as like a funny thing of like, here's our Subway Surfers and us yapping.
The only way I'll be down for that is if it's like a video of you, like actually of you doing something, and then if we like put them side by side, I'm down for that because then it's like both our stuff. Like
I love it. Yeah, okay, fine. It'll be a video of me on my phone. So here, we'll lay it out. It's me and you up here, talking like right now on the podcast. Down here is a video of me on my phone, and then a smaller video in that window is my screen share.
Perfect.
Of my, maybe I'll play my Gardenscapes game
there
that I'm
obsessed with. Perfect. I'm down for that.
I can't wait to make this clip. But yeah, I do always feel bad for the creators that like their stuff is getting poached. Yeah. And it is like, there are like all these people online that it's like always the men that are like, it's a podcast, but it's not. They pretend it is, and they're holding their mic, just like us.
Just like us,
but
like, different.
They're like, here's how you make good content.
Yeah,
go to Mr. Beast's channel, clip his channel, put Subway Surfers on it, and I'm like,
for what? What is this for?
What?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I hear you.
Thank you. Thanks.
But I do love those. You know what? We're talking about iPad kids. Yeah. I'm going to say it. Okay. Stop letting iPads babysit your kids. Yes. I'm over it. That wasn't even on my list. I'm replacing one with it. I just am angry about it. I understand. Okay, let me first start with, I don't understand because I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent. I don't know anything about parenting. And so anything I say today, I have a few parenting takes. Anything I say today about parenting, take with a grain of salt. I've only been the child. I've never been the parent. But there has got to be And I know this because I was a child at one point in the time of technology. There are better ways to entertain your kid than to hand them a device with no like limitations on what they can do to entertain them. Give them a coloring book. Like, things don't have to make noise at them. They can sit in silence. That's what kids can do. That
it's true.
Start treating them like people. But like, Nick and I went to this really nice restaurant. I don't know if I told you about this. We went to a really nice restaurant to celebrate like a big sale moment that he had. And it's like the type of restaurant that like I asked for water and they were like, would you like sparkling or bottled or tap? Yeah. And of course I was like, tap? I don't know. But so it's like nice. Yeah. We sit down, a family comes in and sits at a table in the middle. And like the parents are like so like well dressed, put together, calm. Their kid is with them. He's probably too old for this like for the actions that I'm about to say anyways. He's probably like 8 or older. Also dressed nice. They sit down at the table. He pulls out a full-sized iPad, props it up at this fine dining establishment, and plays things out loud.
No.
Out loud! Oh my gosh.
That's so disruptive.
You know what? If you're going to be an iPad kid, if you're going to have an iPad
be quiet.
Kid, give him headphones. Make him a headphones kid too, because I'm tired of hearing it.
Both and. That's so
I
funny.
should not. No. Stop it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. That was my iPad kid take.
All right. Okay. I have one that's like on like people in pop culture. This is like a very like niche nuanced take, but like I'm not even gonna say them because I don't want to like exasperate things and they don't need to be, but there are specific Asian actors that people hate on, and they're like, they don't represent me. Like they're like not the Asian Americans that represent me, whatever. Like they're like really big on it. They're very critical about like, you know, what their ethics are like, or what if the accent that they're using is their real accent, or if they're adopting someone else. What people like are very critical about specific ones, and I don't want to say their names out loud because it's too much of a hot topic. But I say that is a good thing that like we have in the entertainment industry to have enough a big enough pool of like Asian celebrities that you can have favorites and like heels. Like if there are ones that you hate on, I think that's a good thing. That means that we're like moving forward. Like that means we're like being more like regular celebrities. Where there are always ones that people hate on that are not their favorite, but that's okay because there's like so many to choose from. Like you can have your preferences, and I think that for people that are like, we need to like eliminate them completely from like from Hollywood. Like they don't need to be like in cast and everything anymore. I say this is a good thing. You know, my Asian American friends, Asian community friends, like I don't know what you're hating on, because like this is what we want. We want diversity, and we can't all be homogenous like ethically and personality wise, and how people sound and what their lifestyles are like as celebrities, how we relate to them, which is weird in and of itself. So relax, okay? Like it's okay if you don't like them, but you can't be mad at other people for liking them, because that just means we're more like the rest of, you know, the majority of Hollywood. So relax.
I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like representation is representation, and how great that you get to hate celebrities. I love that good. For you. I love that for you, because that's more realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
And a TV. This one's a TV related thing. Also not serious at all. Reality TV is good TV, and I will not say it's a guilty pleasure, and I will not stand by other people saying it's a guilty pleasure, because it is TV. And like, can we stop acting like it's something to be ashamed of to like it?
I love that.
I like it. Those people are honestly doing harder work by being themselves and exposing themselves to the hate that comes with it than they are by playing a character. It's so much easier to hide behind a character, but that's who they really are. Could you imagine being on Big Brother and there's always cameras present? People watch the live streams and they see you at all times. If you pick your nose, they saw that.
That's so funny.
If you don't wash your hands, they saw that. Like, that's TV, bro. I don't know. I just like
I love this.
Love
tape.
is Blind. That those people signed up to go be locked in a pod for hours and talk to people they can't see, and then they literally don't see them. They go and get proposed to. They say yes to a person they just saw for the first time. And then they go live with them, and they maybe get married, and we see all of it. And it's not...
I love how passionate you are about this.
It's not written out at all. And, like, that is television, bro. That's award-winning television. Stop acting like it isn't.
It's art form.
It is. And I know y'all eat it up anyway, so don't even act like you don't.
That's so funny. I had this is not going to count as mine because I'll just move on to the next one, but I had one about how I hate American dating reality TV.
Stop it. It's TV, Asia.
I actually had one of our friends, I think she listens to the podcast too, but we were friends with her on Twitch, Amateuring. She was talking about how she like loves reality TV, and I was like, I really love Japanese reality TV because it's like very different and not like drama driven. And she was like, yeah, I was talking about a show, Terrace House, and she was like, yeah, that's so boring. And she was like, I think our friendship is over. So now you know that she's truer friends with you than with me.
I love that you were like, oh, scratch that, I won't even say it.
It's not worth it anymore.
Reality TV is TV. Stop being ashamed of liking it.
It's so funny. Okay. One I have, I think this is my last one about like media stuff, but like I don't get the love for Timothy Chalamet. I don't understand. Like, he's like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know what about him is like the thing that people love the most. Because I haven't watched Dune 2 yet, which I know is a tragedy. I need to watch that still. So like, I'm sure he does great in that. But even watching Dune and other things that he's been in, I'm like, the story are like, he fits the setting of whatever he's in very well. But I feel like I don't understand, like there's a lot to be said about like the art of subtlety when it comes to acting, and you know, like subtlety like actually like evokes more or represents more human emotion than like things being like so theatrical and big. But I feel like he's like not even giving that, you know.
That is fair. I used to love Timothy Chalamet, and it was solely because he had that wet cigarette look. Yeah, you know, right? Like I love the I used to love a man that looked like a literal cigarette that was just like dumped in a rainy puddle. Love that, but I have never cared for anything he's done. You know, we objectify women all the time, and I will say I objectified Timothy Chalamet. I didn't care a single thing about his talent. I just liked how he looked, and now I'm kind of over it.
That was a phase.
So I get you on that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
Although I probably will be watching Wonka because
I did hear that Jacob said it was good, so I need to watch it. So, but yeah, I feel like you could replace him with anyone else. But
yeah, I mean, most white men you just throw in his place and be like, look at that, another one.
Look at that.
It's the same concept as the thing you were talking about. We have so many actors and actresses.
Exactly.
Just throw a different one in and we'll hate them either way.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Similarly, a person that I don't get the love for, and oh gosh, I'm worried this is gonna like set me back as a feminist in some way. Sabrina Carpenter. I can't.
No, that's all right.
Literally,
I'm gonna spoil a little of our next segment, but I did put Sabrina Carpenter in there because I wanted to hear you talk about her. We'll just skip that one.
That was one of my. That's second on my list. It was one that I immediately knew. Sabrina Carpenter, First of all, industry plant. I don't care.
I think that's true.
I can never not think of her as the one from Girl Meets World that was like, "You're not autistic. Don't tell them you're autistic." Have you seen that clip?
I have, yeah.
That's all I can think about, first of all. Second, I love this movement that we've had where it's like women in pop and like feminization of pop. I love that.
Yeah.
I just feel like if we now have this huge representation of women in pop, and I understand hyperfem. Like I get the art. I understand it, like, as someone that has been like watched Drag Race, is really into drag queens, understands hyperfem drag queens that are women that are just hyper feminized. I get it. But I feel like to an extent we're going so hyper feminine that it is setting us back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree with
like
that.
the overly sexual, like the whole position thing she does on her tour, yuck. I don't not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but like you could do that in the bedroom, but like also at the same time, like the lyrics of her songs are just like bonkers to me. Like I don't know. It's like, first I'm annoyed with like the industry plant aspect, and then the over sexualization, and also Spotify will not stop putting her on my playlist.
That's so funny.
I will put on my like made for me playlist, and I click shuffle, and it's her and Taylor Swift, and I'm like,
really?
I don't listen to either of you.
They're never on mine. So.
I have never in my life intentionally played their music. It's all been forced upon me in a playlist, and then I skip. And then I skip, and I keep skipping, and I delete them from the made for you playlist, and they won't stop putting them on there.
They're like, okay, move on now.
They're like, you're a white woman, just listen. Just listen to her.
You like this.
You could like this.
That's so
funny. But yeah,
funny.
I can't get behind it, and I feel bad. I'm not trying to be anti-girl, but I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Also, her ex-boyfriend was so ugly. Why did we approve that? What?
Yeah, I never. Yeah, that's another person I like. He's a good actor, but I never understood the like thirst trapping over him. I'm like, I don't get it.
And like her song about him was like, "Don't embarrass me by cheating on me because you've done it before." Because they got together after he was like in this cheating thing. And then he did it. Whoa, shocker! And everybody was like losing their minds over. Oh my gosh, I just can't.
People love to eat that up.
I can't do it, you guys. I'm sorry. I know you guys. So many of you love Sabrina. I can't do it. Okay.
All right.
That's it for me on Sabrina Carpenter. Wrapped.
Love to hear it. Okay, how many more do we have? I'm like just jumping around.
I have 4.
You have 4 more. Okay.
Left.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, one. It's probably like my last light one before I go. I somehow only have 2 more, so I'll have this one, and then my next one will be tough, and then you can just.
I'll do 3 of mine.
You can do all of yours. I don't care.
Okay.
This is your time.
I'm just ranting. It's
I love
just
it.
me ranting.
Okay, so one that is like whatever. Maybe I'm sure other people feel this way. As much as I love a balanced perspective and desire to be productive, I think there's like something to be said. I get such an ick when people are just like, productivity is everything, and I feel like when they're telling me their ethos for it, they're just like regurgitating every TED talk I've ever heard on productivity. I'm just like so over it. I'm like, it's like the same feeling I get for people that are like, I guess this could be another like hot take, but like people who are just crunchy to be crunchy, and they're just like not grounded in like reality anymore.
Yeah.
When people just like talk about productivity and all these productivity hacks of like, this is how you need to start your day, and this is how regimented you need to be to like always like be on your game, and always be 1% better than you were the day before, and like everything is so like measured that I feel like you're just treating yourself like you're a robot. Like if you just input the right things, then your output will be will like always progressively get better. And I just think that's so unhuman and like so not gracious. And like there's like a balance. Like I think I really love the concept of like flow states of like you like push yourself enough that you are being productive, but in a way that like is not overwhelming, that like makes you feel accomplished, but like doesn't it's sustainable. Like you don't overexhaust yourself and then can't continue to work at that pace. And so I think like yeah, productivity is like such a I feel like it was really popular to just focus on productivity like in the like maybe like early 2000 or maybe mid 2000s. Like I feel like that was like really popular to talk about like productivity and productivity hacks.
Yeah.
And I think like I appreciate now people are kind of like coming to terms with like you don't have to come up with like a new productivity hack like every week that you're like now I'm all in on this and all in on this, because I feel like people who do that, generally speaking, tend to then just get like imposter syndrome and then pretend that they're doing that thing and then like don't do it. And I think like that stresses you out more, and that's like so not sustainable. So I'm like really big in like whatever you do, make it sustainable, be like so for real with like your limitations, and in a way that's not like keeping you down. Like you should like desire to grow and like refine yourself and everything, but like in a way that's like so much more gracious to who you are. And I feel like people don't do that, especially boys. So so you know, I just think people need to relax a little bit.
I like, have you thought about the fact that there is more to this life than work?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym or drink egg whites or lock in for 12 hours and not talk to my family.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah, relax. And also it's just so like pretentious, or just like reveals like that you are only thinking your own through the lens of your own like lifestyle. Because whenever I hear things like, even when like, you know, for my streams we do like the co-working streams where we do Pomodoro method, I also like acknowledge the fact that like not a lot of people can work that way because their jobs do not allow them to work that way. And so like for people to be like this is like the way to do things, and this is the only way they can get things done. Or even like I feel like a lot of people, they'll say like the way to like go through your work to get your tasks done is like do the biggest thing first and then work your way to the small things. And I feel like especially people I could be overstepping, but like I feel like for me and for other people that are ADHD tendencies is like actually you need tiny wins to like give yourself momentum. So I do like to start with like the easy wins at the beginning of the day, and then I work into like the big thing for that day. And I just think that people are different and you can't put people in boxes. So anyways,
that's a good one.
Thanks.
That's a good one. Let's see. Here's a more serious one for me.
Okay.
And I will try not to read it as I wrote it down because it's harsh. But I have never once seen, whether online, in person, whatever, I have never once seen anyone successfully gentle parent.
This is a good one.
I am so sorry if you're a gentle
this is a good
parenting,
hot take. Yeah.
But like I first heard about it, I guess, like on TikTok, and it was like these parents that are like talking to their child like a child, like how you would like kind of expect someone to talk to a baby, even if they're like grown, or like you know, like not grown but like 10, and you're like, we don't do those things, and it's like, what is going on? But I've like seen so much of it trending. And I don't know. I understand like where the concept comes from, right? Like I think it got big because the generation that is now raising kids was not at all gently parented. I understand. The parenting was harsh. But like I think that's what it came out of, and it had this intention of like listening to kids and like essentially treating them like humans. Like it came from that of like trying to like hear them out and also have like more of a conversation rather than like yelling at them and like making them shameful for whatever. But I don't know that anyone is actually doing that in the parenting. Yeah. Like the things I've seen of it are these parents that get walked all over and their children are menaces with peace and love.
They know what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, like they know that you're gonna go, we don't do that, and they're gonna go, okay, and then they're gonna go do it because what are you gonna do about it? And so I just have never seen it successfully done, and maybe that's to say that I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But also maybe that's to say that it doesn't happen and that we shouldn't do it. I'm not saying hit your kids, okay? Like I'm not advocating for harsh parenting, right? Like I'm not advocating for like people to be like spanking or screaming or whatever. But I think there's a balance that has to be struck. Yeah. That like is where your kid knows that there are consequences for actions, but also that they can trust you. Yeah. And I just don't see that with gentle parenting, and it drives me insane. Yeah. And once, like I said earlier, not a parent, just somebody's kid.
It's just your hot take. That's all.
It's just my hot take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe gentle parenting just sucks, or maybe I just haven't seen it well.
Yeah. So hard to say, because like. You know, I did not come from a family of gentle parenting, and you know, they were not perfect, but there's some things that I'm like, you know, I do appreciate that they established like I don't know, like their authority on things. And I actually think, especially like as like a preteen, I think there was something to be said of like experiencing when like you're not able to do the thing you want to do, and you have to learn to be okay with it because you can't always control everything. Yes. I think that is something that doesn't always, I don't know, that doesn't necessarily always translate in like gentle parenting, where like sometimes no means no, and like when you're older maybe you like understand like the logic behind why they said that, but like it just is like a good life lesson of like you can't always get what you want. Yeah. And you have to learn to cope with that.
And you don't always get the answers for the reasons you don't get it.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Because that's another big thing that I've seen online with gentle parenting is that it's like, you know, it's like, no, because let me explain why you can't. And it's like, no, like growing up, there were times where my mom was like, you cannot go out tonight. And I would be like, but why? And she'd be like, because I said so. Yeah, like I'm your parent and you have to stay home tonight and like do these things or whatever. Right. And like, I didn't understand it then. I was just mad. But now I look back and I'm like, okay, but like, sure, I was right to react in that way. And but my parents were also trying to like explain to me that like things don't always go my way. Yeah. And like I also like there are plenty of times in my adult life that things haven't gone my way, and I don't get somebody to go, here's why that didn't work out. Right. I just gotta figure it out and survive through it. Yeah. You know, like no one's always gonna be there to say, here's why we don't do those things. And also, life is not gentle, bro. Like nothing in this life is like guaranteed to be gentle and calm and easy. And so like I'm not.
It's like it's like it's not like you're just trying to be harsh because the world is harsh, but it's like you're giving the next generation tools they need to cope with the fact that the world is not perfect cookie cutter, you know, like it's not like formulaic, like if I do this then this will happen, because it's not guaranteed. So yeah, no, I agree with you.
I'm advocating for nurturing and loving your children, of course, but also making sure that you're giving them the tools they need to succeed in life. And
also, you talking about this inspired me for 2 more. So I think we're gonna be even more. Now.
Let's go. I know. But so, yeah, that's my rant on gentle parenting.
I love that. Yeah, good for that was worth saying. Okay, so I'll do one small one that's kind of funny, but like more serious, critical. I don't know. And then I'll save my other 2 for after that. So I think I texted you this before, but nothing irritates me more than when someone is talking to me in like a mom or a teacher voice and they like they're not code switching out of like talking to their children or their students, and I'm like, it just feels so condescending, and I'm like, are we real people right now?
We're
like,
both adults
can we relax? Like, what's happening right now? And then I feel like it's not real. Then I feel like I can't like really be myself, you know? Like it just is like it sets a weird tone for me, and I feel bad because I know that's probably hard to code switch sometimes, but that's just how I feel whenever I hear them. Like, dude, I am not 5. Like, don't talk to me like that.
No, that's real. It's very real. Man. Are we over an hour?
Oh yeah, for
Should
sure.
we cut some or
Maybe.
I'll do one more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll both do one more.
Okay.
This will just be a longer episode. It's fine.
Oh man, I have 3. Let me decide. All right. We're ending lighthearted, sort of.
Okay.
PDA, gross.
I love that.
I don't want to see you like holding hands. Cool, whatever. Like Nick and I hold hands in public, and like we might kiss each other goodbye if we're leaving. I do not want to see you all over each other.
I agree.
I don't want to see you like the like broke boyfriend thing of
Oh,
like
yeah.
the guy like draped over the girl, or like the amusement park line thing.
Vibe, yeah.
All of it. Nasty. Stop it. I don't want to see any of it. I don't care that you love each other. Do that in your own home for everybody. That used to be a thing. I remember that like homophobic people were like, I don't want to see these men kissing, and I was like, I don't want to see any of y'all kissing. None of y'all.
Relax.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Straight, gay, I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't kiss in front of me.
Leave that for home.
Yeah. Come on.
In the privacy of your own home.
Nasties.
No, I feel that. Oh my gosh. Did we end on you or end on me? I forget.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Are we done there?
yeah.
Or-
Let's
okay.
just be done there.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot for.
So much
That was
ranting
intense.
today. So much ranting.
Yeah.
Do we want to play our game?
Yeah,
We could do
we
like
can
a
really fast.
quick, like
Yeah,
a
really
quick
quick.
hot or not.
Yeah. And we don't
So-
have to go through all of them.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. So our game is that Asia and I wrote 5 each of like topics or things or whatever. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself.
You're doing.
We just wrote random things and we're just gonna draw them and we're gonna say hot or not.
Yeah, you can skip Sabrina Carpenter if you draw that.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Okay.
we can just put it on my leg here. You
Yeah.
wanna go?
Yeah,
You go.
I'll go first. Celebrity fast food meals. You mean like the secret menu? I like
Like like the BTS meal, the Travis Scott meal, those things.
I like when it's like themed like this fandom.
Yes.
I don't really care when it's like actual celebrities. I think I like don't care about celebrity culture enough to care for that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Wet hair and wet makeup look. It's a not for me.
Yeah.
It's a not for me. I don't like if you're
so greasy.
just like take a shower and then get out and go.
Yeah.
If you really
Right,
like,
exactly.
if you really want that, but like. That's something that I'm not gonna go on the tangent. In WWE, they oil their hair and stuff to like look cool and like sweaty, and every time they come out, I'm like, could
Go
you just
shower.
blow dry
Yeah,
your hair
right.
or like just shower and walk out? You don't have to do all of that. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was a random tangent, but
Love that. That was the reaction I was looking for. I did my own. Okay.
That's okay.
We can both respond to this.
Yeah.
Biopics, like the trend right now of like all these biopic movies.
Originally, it was hot.
Yeah.
Like, there were a few that I was like into that.
Yeah.
No, I'm over it.
I'm so over it.
Especially
I'm
when
like,
they're like
it feels
already
like a
they're
crutch.
still alive.
Yeah.
Move along.
When they're still alive, I'm like,
Move along.
we have other stories you can tell.
Move along.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is this one that you did already?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Taylor Swift. Dang, you're just trying to get me canceled today. It's a not for me. I'm sorry. I think that she is talented. I'm not
She's
gonna
very
I'm not gonna
successful.
refute that. She's talented. She knows how to put on a show. She's great at those things. My problem is that I feel like she writes these songs and then makes them all these poppy or like, still like somewhat pop upbeat things and ruins them. If like people have done covers of her stuff like slowed down and like more intentional, and I
You feel
love
like the
it.
lyrics come through more.
The lyrics come through more. But I will say also, I've seen how she be rhyming car and bar all the time, and like, can we just get new words? Dr. Seuss? Like, anyways, sorry.
Love that. Yeah.
Love you,
Sorry for putting you on the
Swifties.
spot. All right. lip gloss holder phone cases. Wait, I don't even think I know what this is.
You haven't seen this?
No.
Have you seen the Rhodes phone case?
No, I haven't.
It's a case, and it has a bulge on the back, and you slide your lip gloss into it. I'll show you.
Without seeing it first, I feel like it's a nah for me, but let me... Oh, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. This looks like a mouth. Or
it does.
Something,
it looks like lips.
Something else on the back. Okay, that's the first thing I thought of.
That's valid. That's valid. Yeah, it's
like just put it in your purse.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah,
too.
okay.
They started selling them at Target, and I was like, really? I had to explain it to Nick too. It was a whole thing. All right. Oh, this is one of mine. Okay. TV show reboots or movie remakes.
Oh, No, I'm like over biopics, reboots. Like, I just feel like I want some original content.
Yes.
And we just keep getting the same thing.
That's
like
how I
less,
feel.
like worse versions of the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't need all that. I don't even need a sequel, really. Just give me something new.
Something new.
Yeah. I remember watching the Barbie movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, original content.
It was so refreshing.
I love this.
Yeah.
And yeah, Marvel, stop.
Yeah. It's just...
Give up.
Relax.
I don't know. All of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're on the same page. Sprayed edges on books. Oh, like the design stuff?
Yeah, like on the edges of the pages.
Here's the thing. Like, part of me is like, okay, maybe that's cute, like when you're holding it and reading it. But like, for the most part, if it's on your bookshelf, like no one's gonna see that. So
yeah,
I feel
true.
like it's a lot of effort
That's
for
true.
nothing.
I really liked them, but now almost every single book has them, and I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, really?
It doesn't feel special.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. I like this is like
so rapid fire. Yeah. Counterfeit designer items. Kind of hot.
Yeah.
I think
you don't know it's counterfeit.
Yeah, there's been this whole thing with the Walmart Birkin. Have you seen all that? I love that. Make rich people feel bad for how they spend their money. It's about time, bro. Yeah, buy the knockoff, but not from Temu.
Not from Temu.
I don't know where you're gonna get it, but like find a dupe that's made by someone well.
Yeah. Oh, this is my own. I want to hear your thoughts on this though. Cougars. What do you think about that?
You know what? I love a woman that knows what she wants, but can it not be a young man?
Right. Yeah.
I don't like an age gap ever.
Yeah.
No one.
No. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Is this one gonna be? Wait, where's the Sabrina Carpenter?
Oh, maybe it fell out. Okay, well, into that one, I guess.
This one was mine. Micro mini skirts.
No.
No,
absolutely not. Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Because you gotta wear something underneath it, or you're showing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And either way, I don't like it.
Yeah, if you have to put a descriptor of like mini, of how mini it is, and we're saying micro mini, we've gone too far.
That's where Word would underline and be like, these are the same words.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
The red squiggle would pop up. Get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you. Oh my gosh, that was fun.
Thank you for being on this journey with us. If you want to,
that was heated.
Yeah, if you're gonna clip and take us to get us canceled and post it online, make sure you put Subway Surfers next to it. That's all I ask. I don't care. Just cut it out of context all you want.
Perfect.
Maybe layer over soap cutting. That's it.
I'll take it. It's fine.
And also, while you're doing that editing, make sure you're rating, reviewing, subscribing, and following all our socials, except for TikTok. RIP.
Yeah, I know.
But still, I mean, if it's still up when you hear this, probably won't be. That's a miracle. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But follow us there if it's still there.
Why not? Try it. And then your Dululu to Dulu today is, when you're at like the checkout line or whatever, there's like someone that's like in the service industry and you see like they got some cool earrings on or they got a cool fit going on, especially if they're like trying to make their uniform look like not like their uniform. I say it would probably go a long way if you just let that Dululu girl know that she is slaying.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Just do it. Like you're on the fence, just do it.
I love that.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm Asia the girl.
And I'm Faith Okay.
See you next time, besties.
Bye.
Bye. my gosh.
Uh,
That was, I don't,
the pop girlies are gonna come for me.
I get that Nick was worried for you, but I felt like those were good. That
I
was
did
a
make
good,
mine
like,
more gentle. I'll show you
okay.
my like actual history.
Okay.